According to the Associated Press, Trump received over 1 million votes. Clinton, on the other hand, defeated other top candidate Bernie Sanders. She also received over 1 million votes. Up next are the Arizona and Utah primaries, as well as the Idaho caucus on Tuesday, March 22nd. And you can't forget the American Samoan Republican Convention that takes place that same day. Good afternoon, UCF Knights. I'm Daniel Byrd, and here's a quick look at what's making news on Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. Students at UCF are now able to get a drug that would reduce their risk of contracting HIV. Instead of here at the Arboretum, many squirrels prefer to get their lunch from students on campus. And while not encouraged, Stout says these encounters can be soothing for some students. Guys, unless you've been dodging the internet all week, you've probably already seen this viral video. And since my name is Daniel, I was forced to do this story. Disney's new tier ticket pricing could change what students pay for single-day tickets. This system separates the park's most popular days from ones with less traffic. It's a slow day for UCF teams. Everybody's off. Even the Orlando Magic are taking a day off. But tomorrow, it's a huge day for UCF softball. The team takes on the 4th-ranked Auburn Tigers at 10 a.m. at the UCF softball complex. Former Knight and current Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles is taking his hard work off the field and bringing it to the community with a new foundation. Skates laced, sticks taped. The UCF ice hockey team hits the ice for practice, and it's barely 7 a.m. With big games coming up against the region's #1 team this weekend, this club team is focused. The Knights practice and play at the RDV Sportsplex, a public rink in Maitland. President of the club, Jacob Solomon, says scheduling practices can be tricky.
It's just the times when everyone can just get together, really, and it has to match up with the ice time that RDV has as well. So the combination between the two, that's why 7 a.m. is a good time.
But finding ice time is not the only hurdle. Equipment and overall costs are expensive. And even though the Sport Club Council gives each club funds, club teams have to run on a much tighter budget than varsity sports. President of the Sport Club Council, Dustin Holmes, says the money the school can afford to give club teams barely scratches the surface.
We run the numbers every year, and the money that we get from SGA only pays for about 20% of what sport clubs actually use.
For the hockey team, that's about $15,000 a year. The other 80% comes from fundraising or the players' own pockets.
We host a golf tournament that's actually this upcoming Sunday. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year.
In Holmes' opinion, the work club players put into their sports is unmatched.
I believe most of these students have more drive for their sport than a lot of collegiate level, just because they have to put their own money, they have to put their own specific time on top of a full school regimen. They don't have special tutors, they don't have any other special amenities for them.
It doesn't matter where you go on campus, you can't escape. UCF is home to countless gray squirrels, and while some stick to searching for food around trees, many have turned to humans for food. A controlled burn schedule for the Arboretum this winter will not display squirrels who call it home, but it does place focus on the squirrels and the issue of whether the encounters on campus between man and beast are safe for both sides. Student Natasha Roby had her own run-in with a gray squirrel who was digging around in a trash can.
The squirrel comes out and jumps on my face and then jumps off and runs away.
While surely scary at the time, Professor Jack Stout says these squirrels do not pose a serious threat to humans.
There's no disease threat from gray squirrels on campus. They don't carry rabies, and that's really the principal thing that people are afraid of.
Instead of here at the Arboretum, many squirrels prefer to get their lunch from students on campus. And while not encouraged, Stout says these encounters can be soothing for some students.
Some people enjoy that, and I'm all for it.
Even after her encounter, Roby says that she is not afraid of the squirrels and that they are not the only bold animals on campus.
I've had a duck come on the table and try to pick at my food.
We asked this squirrel for a comment, but he seemed preoccupied. In Orlando, Daniel Byrd from Night Today. Redshirt freshman Traquan Smith used his first season on the field to pile up stats. But one stat he and his team didn't collect, a win. UCF limped to an 0-12 season last year, and Smith is excited to get back on the field.
Everybody wants to win, been waiting for it. Hopefully we get it the first game coming up.
While Smith is looking forward to the spring game, the fans may need convincing. Last year, UCF fans weren't afraid to show their disappointment. Assistant AD of Fan Development Jimmy Skiles says this year's spring game is a big chance to get fans back on board.
It really sets the tone for going into the summer and then the start of the season in the fall, so it's the first chance for people to see this new era of UCF football.
And the school isn't taking any chances. UCF has turned the spring game into a day-long festival, a play on words based on the team's fast-paced offense. And with that offense creating a buzz, Skiles says fans will be back in full force next season.
We're renewing at a record pace. We got new season tickets that are people are calling in and buying. So we want to keep that momentum going through the end of the renewal period, which is at the end of April.
And the Knights will be looking to carry that momentum right into the end zone in the fall. In Orlando, Daniel Byrd, UCF Nightly News. The National Women's Soccer League's newest team, the Orlando Pride, kicked off practice this week in Sanford. World Cup and Olympic champ Alex Morgan practiced with the team for the first time on Thursday and will have to get familiar with her teammates fast. The Pride have their first preseason match tomorrow, and Morgan is excited to see what level the team is at.
I'm looking forward to just seeing kind of the quality we're at now, and then looking forward into a week 2 or 3, because we are going to be testing ourselves with a couple preseason matches throughout this month.
The Pride take on Eastern Florida State College tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Melbourne. Orlando's first regular season game is on April 17th against Morgan's former team, the Portland Thorns. Coming to the CFE Arena tomorrow, and both supporters and protesters are taking notice. Reporter Daniela Polinar spoke to students preparing to attend the event. Today marks the final day of Safe Night Week. Recently, students gathered in the It's On Us walk to take a stand against sexual assault on college campuses. Knights walked around campus to take part in a pledge to end sexual assault. According to the It's On Us campaign, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted in college. UCF Cares President Vanessa Palmer says students shouldn't underestimate their power.
Prisalo strikes it, and it's in! A beautiful free kick from Prisalo leaves Ladwig frozen, and he hits the upper 90 and gives UCF a 2-1 lead.
Spring break is about to begin, and that means beaches will be crowded.
But wildlife officials say it's important to give space to some guests from the ocean.
Reporter Justin Garfield has more on what to do when you see sea turtles. Final week in this year's state legislative session, and with over 2,700 bills submitted to the legislature, many will not be read. One bill that may come up short is an intimate apparel bill.
Austin Griffin at the plate. He swings and hits that one to left field. That one's going back. It's going to carry on out of here. It's a grand slam. Austin Griffin blows this game wide open with a grand slam shot to left field. And UCF leads this one 12-5.